If it wasn't for the grace of God putting overall fitness and finding myself through fitness in the gym, I can actually confidently say that I probably would not be alive today lifting weights. Like, you can literally just scream like, and it's hard and rough to tell somebody who loves and has a passion for a sport that you're just not good enough. Deep down, whether you know it consciously or subconsciously, you know that you have to be somebody in life to find success. Like, nobody can ultimately love you more than you love yourself. One of the most dangerous things, anybody who's lonely or in a very vulnerable state, the very, very worst thing that person can do is literally be home 24/7. Yo, what's going on with you guys, man? It's your boy King Edward here. Back at it again with another video for you guys, man. So I just got off work. I'm about to head to the gym right now. As you guys can see, I'm drinking my Bucked energy drink pre-workout. Had a long day at work today. But as I was walking to my car, guys, I just thought, let me just make this video because it's just something that's been on my mind. Something that I've just been reflecting on. I've been doing a lot of reflecting recently. But yeah, in this video, I just want to share with you something pretty deep. And I'm just going to be blunt. I'm going to be sharing some pretty like dark inner thoughts that I was having. I'm going to essentially be vulnerable with you guys and just basically reflect and just share with you guys the darkest moments of my life and how ultimately the gym, fitness, and this whole self-improvement space, I can actually say accidentally helped save my life, because this wasn't something that I just stumbled upon. It wasn't something that I planned. It was just something that just developed through time. And I ultimately have to give all thanks and glory to God. If it wasn't for the grace of God putting overall fitness and finding myself through fitness in the gym, I can actually confidently say that I probably would not be alive today making this video to share and reflect it with you guys. So I want to just basically, my main goal of sharing this video is to hopefully reach one or two people who are potentially also in a really low, dark point in their lives and need some type of sense of direction and don't have that. I want to just share with you what I personally went through and how I was able to overcome these very dark points in my life to ultimately, like I said, help one or two people. Even if it's one or two people, also get through their dark struggles, because we're all human. And I know at one point everybody, I can confidently say at one point everybody in this world has faced and had to overcome one great obstacle. Because ultimately, if you don't overcome that obstacle, you just become absorbed by that obstacle and never find success, and you just become stagnant and you just basically, I don't know, you just unfortunate things happen. Let's put it that way. So like I said, guys, I'm gonna be sharing what I've been reflecting on recently, and that's just overall realizing that the gym basically saved my life in a nutshell. If I just have to break it down in a sentence, overall, the gym bettering myself as a man, becoming a better person through fitness in the gym has ultimately saved and changed my life for the better, I would say. I can definitely say that for sure, confidently, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Looking back on it, it may seem like a long time ago, for me at least, but I can literally recall this like it was yesterday. 2018, I think 2018 to 2020 was by far, hands down, the most darkest, deepest, worst parts of my life. And obviously it didn't help because that was the same time COVID was hitting. For me, guys, back then in 2018, I had no sense of direction. As you guys know, typical guy, having hoop dreams. My number one goal growing up was to become a professional athlete. As you know, that's probably like the typical Black American dream, is to become a professional athlete. And it's rough, and it's hard and rough to tell somebody who loves and has a passion for a sport that you're just not good enough. So I had to come to that realization in 2018, and that was just a devastating blow for me because I had no sense of direction. Once I really sat down and thought to myself, okay, there's no way in shot that I'm gonna make it to the NFL, NBA. My professional dreams were completely shot. That hit me around 2018, and once that hit me, I had no sense of direction. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life after that point. I was stuck. And as you know, as a guy especially, you know that deep down, whether you know it consciously or subconsciously, you know that you have to be somebody in life to find success and find happiness within yourself. Not even for others, but within yourself, to feel accomplished, that you actually done something in society, even on a small scale. You have to have some type of purpose. So 2018, I had zero purpose, zero ambition. Because like I said, I just came to the realization that pro sports was not my thing, was not going to be my thing. I wasn't talented enough. So I was just stuck. And as a result of that depression, I was spiraling down really unhealthy habits, eating a lot of junk food, staying up late, just doing a whole bunch of degenerate shit. And just overall, within like a year or two, come to find out, after COVID ended, hold on one second. So like I said, after COVID ended, 2020, late 2020, early 2021, I blew up to over 300 plus pounds. So I know before COVID, I was still like a bigger, chunkier guy, but I was nowhere near 300 pounds. So I probably gained like 40, 50 plus pounds of just pure fat throughout those 2 years from 2018 to 2020. Because like I said, I wasn't going to school. I was literally home all day. And by the way, guys, one of the most dangerous things, anybody who's lonely or in a very vulnerable state, the very, very worst thing that person can do is literally be home 24/7. That is probably the last. That's not even actually a recommendation. That is actually probably the top 3 most destructive advices people could be doing who are facing some mental battles. Is just being stuck at home with no purpose, no ambition, no nothing. Because at the end of the day, when you're left alone with your thoughts, that could lead to the most destructive thought behavior and just the worst mindset ever. So that was one thing that was fucking me up subconsciously, was just being home all day, stuck doing nothing, just watching TV. For me, I was just watching anime, eating a whole bunch of junk food, and I was working like a regular Wendy's job. I was working a fast food job, making some money. And eating all the junk food that they were giving me at these fast food places I was working. So I was just working, a super shitty job of fast food while not going to school. So I was just working a couple hours, come home, watch anime, eat a whole bunch of junk food, and repeat that cycle for literally years. No school, no nothing. So imagine, in my head, I was really just like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to explain this to you guys. I was literally at the darkest, lowest point of my life. I felt so insignificant because I was getting bigger and fatter. People were disrespecting me in public. I've noticed it in public because people would just bump into me, shove into me, and not apologize. And I would just have to eat that shit. So little subtle things like that I was noticing, just like blatant disrespect in my face. And as a guy, obviously I'm not super confrontational, so I'd have to eat that. And obviously, let's not even talk about women. I was essentially invisible to women for the majority of that whole entire period. Because first of all, I didn't even step outside the house. The only time I stepped outside the house was to obviously work. But besides that, I was just like a hermit crab, just stuck in the house all day, having no sense of direction, no purpose. And I was really, really lost. And ultimately, and what made it worse, guys, what made it worse for me, thinking about it, is the fact that, for me at least, when I was at my worst and darkest point in my life, my family, the people who were supposed to support me, they didn't end up supporting me in the way that I wanted them to support me. So they would always, especially my parents would always emphasize me going to school, getting a degree in a degree field that I had no interest or passion in. So they were thinking that was the advice and the encouragement I would need to get out of my dark depression state. But ultimately, that was not the kind of advice I wanted to hear. So every time I would vent to my parents, first of all, my parents are old school. So any type of venting, they don't even believe that shit is real. They believe you're probably just bored. That's what my parents think. If you're depressed, you're probably bored. You're not doing anything with your life. I mean, which is kind of true in a way, but it's deeper than that, obviously. But they don't understand that. So every time I would even slightly ask them for advice, they would just basically give me some advice that I wasn't trying to hear. So I couldn't go to my parents for advice. And on top of that, my siblings, I have 2 younger siblings. My siblings would start to disrespect me as well. They start to name call me, insult me. As an older brother, I'm not super I don't know how to describe it, but overall, my siblings just, they didn't look up to me as a bigger brother. And I was noticing that too. And it's crazy because I was noticing it, and it happened incrementally, day by day, week by week, me being home all day, doing nothing, having no purpose or no direction, just basically being like a dead, me basically being a dead feather or a dead leaf blowing left and right, having the wind dictate my whole entire life for those 2-3 years. I noticed that my family, my siblings, they they never wanted. Okay, how do I put this? They never gave me a solution. They only added to my problems, and that's what also ramped up my mental health. That's what ramped up my mental anxiety and my overall mental health not being the best. And for me, I'm not like a super like when I have like a mental challenge, I want to just lash out. I tend to just hold it all in, which is also really really bad. So that was one thing that I was doing when I was in my darkest point, was that whenever I was in a bad shitty situation, and my family, my friends, and my parents would topple and add to my pressure and add to my anxiety and add to my depression, I would just hold all this shit in, which isn't good. But that was what I did, and I don't know. Well, I do know, but I don't know how. For so long, I was able to do it for 2 years, to just hold it all in. But like I said, it wasn't until late 2021. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was in May. It was in the month of May when I literally just I just told myself, I don't know what it is. I literally only think it was only because of God that I'm able to even be alive today. It was literally only through God and his blessing that I was ultimately able to just wake up one day, guys. Like I said, in May, it was around May 2021 was when I woke up and I was like, you know what? I just came to the realization that I'm a man. Nobody's coming to save me. Nobody loves you if you don't do anything for yourself. Like, nobody can ultimately love you more than you love yourself. Guys, I don't know how to expect. That's like one of the most key, important things you can take away from this video. That nobody in this world, even over your parents, because nobody knows you more than you know yourself. So nobody can truly love you the way you love yourself. So ultimately, what I've come to realize is that the importance of self-love and self-appreciation is really key. And to amplify that, how I was able to justify my self-love was realizing that I need to, first and foremost, take care of myself. Like, take care of myself physically. Like, why can't I become a super jacked person? In my mind, my only process was, if I had to be a bum in two situations, but a bum jacked person or a bum fat person, which one would I rather be? I was telling myself, I'd rather be a bum jacked person. Obviously, I don't want to be a bum in general, but if I had to pick a worse situation with a better physique, I'd obviously pick the better physique being in a worse position. So the first thing I did, guys, was ultimately realize I need to change how I look. And I didn't know what that would entail or what that would be a result of, like what benefit that would be for me. But I just knew if I looked better and I took care of myself, I would have more confidence. That was the only thing that was in my mind. I lacked confidence because obviously nobody took me serious. Nobody took me serious at work, at home. Nobody took me serious. So I said to myself, let me do something most people can't do, which is get in shape and just be relatively healthy. So that's what I did. So literally in May of 2021 is when I started to take the gym serious and start taking my nutrition serious. That's when I can officially say I started my fitness journey, was in May of 2021. And so when I first started my fitness journey, So when I first started my fitness journey, guys, it was a lot of ups and downs, a lot of struggles. But while I was struggling throughout the whole process, very early on in my fitness journey, I started to build love for the gym. I started loving going to the gym. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But I love the feeling of going hard in the gym and then literally the next day my whole body feeling sore, especially like certain muscle groups. So if I was training legs, especially legs, man, I just love the feeling of training legs and then the next day your legs feel shot. I love that feeling. So I started to embrace the pain of going to the gym every day. Not every day, but I was working out 5 days a week and I was doing a lot of cardio. And like I said, I just started loving the process of going to the gym. I'm not gonna lie, very early on, my nutrition wasn't the best, but I was making sure I was going to the gym every day. I love just beating my body up physically and just pushing my body to the limits in the gym. And that's when I can officially say from that May throughout the whole summer of 2021, going into 2022, that's when I actually built my love for the gym and started to find a new passion. So for me, guys, I'm still in school now. I'm in a degree that I'm currently, so basically when I first found the gym, it's just weird how things, it's just weird to me looking back on it, how things laid out for me. So when I found the gym, I started to become more consistent in the gym. I started having an appreciation and love for the gym. And then as a result of that, things started to line up outside of the gym. So then, on top of me going to the gym consistently, it literally just coincidentally came across my path, a degree field that isn't super complicated, isn't super hard, a degree field that I can get into, do my thing, do my 3 4 years, get my degree, and get a good paying job starting out. Obviously, I don't want to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life, but obviously, you all got to start somewhere. So currently, what I'm doing right now is a really decent job. That isn't a job that I completely hate, and I could do it for a few years until I'm able to sustain other things outside of my 9 to 5. But it's just weird how the job I'm working now, I would not have thought I would. The job I'm currently working, there is no way I could have seen myself doing this job because my mindset was fucked. I wasn't in a good mental space. So the opportunity never presented itself when I was big and fat. So me finding the gym, being consistent in the gym, literally just opened a door for me to help me sustain my life and sustain me financially with my current job. So ultimately, what I've come to realize is that the gym helped propel me, not just in my physique wise, as far as my physique and my look, but also helped propel me in my financial situation as far as finding stability in that. And just ultimately, what I've gained from being in the gym, reflecting now, back all the way back to when I was big and fat, was the fact that like my confidence is number one. The number one thing that I've noticed has changed drastically from back in 2018 till now. I feel so much more confident. See me right now wearing a tank top. There's no way in hell I would have wore a tank top 3 years ago because all I would have was flab and just fat, pure fat all over my body. So the whole idea for me to even wear a tank top is crazy to me. Just looking at it now, like me even recording this video, talking to you with a tank top, drinking an energy drink is crazy. Like that's crazy to me. There's no way I would have done it 3 years ago. So that's the number one thing I've noticed has changed drastically. Was my confidence, my purpose. I have a new sense of purpose and like a new sense of like how do I describe it? The new sense of like embracing myself as a man. Like I when I look back at my old pictures of myself when I was big and fat, I just look like a soft, innocent, like scared puppy. And now I'm like a freaking lion. I can't lie to you. I look like a freaking lion, and I still got work to do. I'm not 100% at my goal yet. I still got more work to do. I still got more work to do, and I'm pushing myself each and every day. Like I said, I'm about to head to the gym after I'm done recording this video, 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. So I mean, nothing crazy, but I just know I gotta still hit the gym. Like that's it. At this point, the gym is a non-negotiable. Just like for most people, eating food, watching the football game on Sunday is a non-negotiable for them. I cannot see myself not going to the gym. If I skip one day, I literally have I'm not even joking. I'll literally start shaking a little bit because I'll be doing especially if I'm home doing nothing on a day that I should be working out. I literally have to do something. So I'm at that point now where like I have to go to the gym when I have to go to the gym, when I'm scheduled to go to the gym, which for me is just 5 days a week, so nothing crazy. But that's just one thing I've noticed is that the overall idea of self-improvement, going to the gym, being consistent, believing in yourself, and just transforming your body. Like just imagine, you look like shit one day, then you push yourself for months, years, and then you look like a completely different person, healthier, better looking, stronger, built. You basically transform your whole body. Like that whole concept is crazy to me, that somebody can put in work for a certain amount of years or a certain amount of time and look completely different, healthy, muscular, and just fit. That's crazy to me. So overall, guys, like I said, the gym helped me find purpose. It helped me get out of a really dark point in my life. It helped me find a sense of direction. It helped me gain confidence that I never had. Like I said, I was very, very shy, timid. I was stuck in the house, antisocial. I'm still kind of, like, for me, it's crazy because like in my mind, I'm still, I guess you consider antisocial, because I just like, for me now, my only schedule is work, gym, and finishing up my last few semesters of school. That's pretty much what I do every day. Go home, eat, sleep, unwind with the Netflix show, and then repeat the cycle. But I don't like going out in general. And just my mindset is just different though now. Like it's just like I move like for me, I don't even like I see pursuing chicks as beneath me. Like actively chasing and like, you know, thirsting over chicks. I could never see myself doing that. I never saw myself doing that before. Actually, you know what? No, that's a lie. When I was big and fat, I thought to myself, that's the only way I would be able to get a chick, was to beg her to be my girlfriend. Now at this point, I really don't give a fuck. I'm so focused and locked in on my goals, my fitness goals, my financial goals, that I could care less. I know women are going to be there regardless. When I'm 50, a 22-year-old bad chick will always be there. As long as I'm in good shape, have good finances, there's always going to be chicks there. That's how I see it. So, guys, I want to just share with you guys the importance of going to the gym and how the gyms help save my life. And I know for a fact, it could definitely help one or two of you guys watching this video who are stuck and have no purpose, or just feel like nobody is listening to them. Just for me, what I found out was just taking that time to go to the gym alone and just literally let out all that pain and frustration in the weights, or just like pushing your body to the limits. Because then you start to like have other thoughts like, damn, this shit is hard. Like, instead of thinking of negative thoughts, you'll be thinking of like how to get this weight up. That's kind of how my mindset was. So I want to just share that information with you guys, that like, you know, the gym in general helped save my life. And it took me at a really dark point in my life when people didn't believe in me, when I was at a really dark point. I was depressed, overweight and fat. It's the worst. I'm not gonna lie. Being overweight, fat, and depressed has to be, like, for me at least, it was the worst feeling in my life. So I just know for a lot of people who are depressed and overweight, that shit is tough. That shit is tough because you're not only battling depression, obviously, which is the mental aspect, but just physically knowing that you don't look like, just physically knowing that you don't look the best version of yourself, it just adds and piles onto it. So that's why I really want to emphasize the importance of, first and foremost, if you're big and overweight and depressed, guys, please, I beg of you, my solution that I feel like can solve a lot of overweight people's depression is simply going to the gym and finding the gym and just simply doing some activity at least once a day, whether that's cardio or lifting weights. I prefer lifting weights because you can really just like let out a bunch of aggression lifting weights. Like, you can literally just scream like, "Argh!" Lifting a whole bunch of weights. But on the cardio machine, it's hard to let out all that steam without people staring at you. Either way, I don't give a fuck who stares at me regardless, but I feel like that gives you more of an excuse to scream and yell and let out all that energy. So I really hope you guys took something from this video and really just understood the importance of going to the gym and how the gym helped save my life, because I would not be here today if it wasn't for the gym. I can confidently say that. I wouldn't be here. I would just be another average, below average, 350 plus. I probably would be I can't lie to you. If I was eating and doing the same exact thing I was doing 3 years ago to this day, I would probably be a contestant on my 600-pound life, by far, without a doubt. If I literally just kept to the same routine that I was doing back in 2018 till now, 2026, 2025, woo-wee. I would have been so far gone, there would have been no coming back. So I just hope you guys learned the importance of going to the gym, and just finding yourself in the gym is really important. Yeah, guys, if you guys are new here, please make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to this video. And also, do not forget to follow me on Instagram at The Great King Edward, man. And I'm out.